God says this to you from Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a future and hope." Receive it right now.
Sometimes God will destroy our plans when He sees that our plans are going to destroy us. Have you ever planned your life and then realizing lahat ng plano mo hindi natuloy? You know why? Because God sees, probably knows, or He knows that what you're planning for yourself is going to eventually destroy you. My plan for you is to give you hope and a future and never to harm you. God always has better plans in our lives. And you know what? If He was able to do it for me, the more He can do it for each and every one of you. Because God doesn't have favorites. We are all His children. We all belong to Him. And if He can answer and fulfill my dreams and my prayers, He can do the same thing with you.
Pastor, bakit ko pinagdadaanan ng mga bagay na ito? We always ask the question, why? Bakit binawi agad ang buhay niya? Bakit hindi ako nakapasa? Bakit nalugi ang aming negosyo? Bakit hindi ako natanggap? Bakit hindi tinanggap yung... Bakit hindi ako nakapag-abroad? Ang dami nating question ng why. Pastor, bakit ko kailangan pagdaanan to? Alam niyo kung bakit natin tinatanong yon? Because it doesn't make sense eh. Lagi kang nasa church, pero nagkakaproblema ka pa din. Kaya nagtataka ka, Lord, nagsimba naman ako. Pag 3 p.m. yung service, alas 2 pa lang, nakapila na ako. Tapos kung ang dami kong involvement, ako pa yung pinakamaraming problema. Ano ba tulad? Kada involvement, may problema bang kapalit to? Kaya nagtataka ka eh. Sabi mo, buti pa yung hindi naman laging umatin. Parang wala masyadong problema. Hindi naman ako nagmumura. Hindi naman ako naglalasing. Kung ilalagay nga lang sa chat yung ano nyo, Lord, why? Hindi mo maintindihan din kung bakit. It doesn't make sense to you. Tapos sabi mo pa, Lord, di ba sabi mo, tingnan nyo, pati si Lord, binibigyan mo ng Bible verse. Lord, di ba sabi mo, if God is for us, who can be against us? Bakit kami dumaranas ng ganito? Sabi naman ng Lord, wag mo i-quote sa akin yan, ako nagsabi niya. Lord, di ba sabi mo, if God is for us, who can be against us? Hold on. Mali yata pagkakabasa natin. Hindi sinabi ng Bible that nobody will be against you. Right? Hindi naman sinabing hindi ka ma-oppose, hindi sinabi na hindi ka magkakaproblema, hindi sinabing hindi ka magkakastruggle, hindi sinabi ng scripture na hindi ka magiging target ng kaaway. Ang sabi lang, there will be people in your life that will be against you, pero ang pangako ng Lord, no match sila. Yun yung pangako niya. Na mas makapangyarihan yung Diyos kaysa sa mga taong against sa'yo. Hindi niya sinabing walang kukontra sa'yo. Ang sinabi lang ng Lord, mas no match yung lahat ng kukontra. Yun yung pinangako niya. Minsan lang mali tayong pagkaintindi. Na iniisip natin that once we became a Christian, everything will be smooth. I will lie down in bed of roses. So again, focus on what you know. Hindi mo alam kung kailan ka babawian ng buhay. Hindi mo alam kung ano mangyayari sa iyong pamilya bukas. Hindi mo alam kung makakagraduate ang iyong anak. Hindi mo alam kung may trabaho ka pa 5 years later. Pero anong alam natin? Mabuti ang Diyos. Ano ang sigurado natin? May plano ang Diyos. Ano ang sigurado natin? Ano mang mangyari sa atin, alam natin hindi tayo pababayaan ng ating Panginoon. Ang alam ko lang, ano mang sakit na naranasan mo, ano mang heartache, ano mang sitwasyon, ano mang circumstance, lahat yan ay under control ng ating Panginoon. Hindi man na-approve ang iyong proposal, unfair man ang mga tao sa iyo, pinag-uusapan ka nila behind your back, iniwan ka man nila, or pwede ring tinanggal talaga sila ni Lord sa iyo. May mga detours, may mga delay. Hindi natin control yon. Pero alam makokontrol natin, our perspective. Mindset ba? Our mindset. That God has a plan and God is in control. This is what I know. You cannot reach your destination without an opposition. This is what I know. You cannot fulfill your assignment without disappointment. Focus on what you know. Napansin niyo ba madalas pag tayo may problema, hinahanap natin si Lord, parang lagi siyang nawawala? Right? Hindi naman wala ang Diyos eh. Lord, where are you? Where are you? Lord, where are you in the middle of all these things? Lord, where are you in the middle of this COVID-19? Ang sabi ng Lord, hanap ng where is me? Where is your faith? Because God's purpose is not matched with your expectation. But it doesn't mean, hindi porke tahimik ang Diyos, absent ang Diyos. Kapag ang Diyos tahimik, trust His silence. You trust it. Because God has a better plan. If you got a plan, God has a better plan. Things are shifting. May bagong ginagawa ang Panginoon. He is doing something in your situation.
Kaya ka pala minsan nare-reject. Kaya pala hinahayaan ni God na ma-reject tayo. Kasi dinadala niya pala tayo sa mas malawak na plano niya para sa atin. Baka kaya ko sinasara minsan sa atin yung ibang pintuan, yung mga maling pintuan, kasi meron palang inihahandang unique at tamang pintuan ng Diyos para sa ating lahat. Baka kaya pala na-meet mo yung maling tao sa buhay mo kasi God wants you to realize or to prepare you to become a better person. Baka kaya pala we meet some unfaithful friends kasi ang gusto ng Diyos, matutunan natin yung kahalagahan ng pagpapahalaga sa pagkakaibigan. Rejection does not mean failure. Rejection is not equal to failure. Rejection is a redirection.
You're not supposed to just pray about it, but sometimes you need to pray and then be quiet and listen. Listen for the voice of God, because our God is never without a plan. He's never confused. You may be confused about the battle that you're fighting, the enemy that you see coming back again and again. But God is not without a plan concerning the battle that you're fighting for your family and for your life and for your purpose and call that God has on your life. God has a plan.
God hasn't brought you this far to leave you. Just because you don't see a way doesn't mean God doesn't have a way. Right now, He's working behind the scenes in your life. You wouldn't be alive if He didn't have something amazing in front of you. Why do you think the enemy's trying to stop you? He doesn't bother people that are not a threat. He wouldn't waste His time on you if He didn't know you were a world changer, a history maker, that you have seeds of greatness. He knows God is about to open doors bigger than you've dreamed. You're about to step into new levels of your destiny.
Never be jealous of what God does for somebody else. What God has for you is for you, and He's never going to deliver your mail to somebody else's house.
You know, God does not have the same plan for everybody. He's got a good plan for everybody. But God does not have the same plan for everybody.
When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
You need to change your mind, because some of you are thinking about giving up because you're in a season of failure. But just because you failed doesn't mean that God doesn't have a bright future in store for you. It is always too soon to quit. But I want to remind you that failure is not final, it's formative. It is part of the process. It's part of the journey. Your failure matters as much as your success. How do you think you're going to grow if you don't ever fail? Yet some of you have failed and you have decided, well, guess what? I'm a failure. No, failure is an event. It is never a person. Just because you failed doesn't mean that you're a failure. In fact, failure is actually fuel for your future. The way that you grow, the way that you advance. You have to fail in order to succeed. Like every one of my successes is stacked on top of failures. You need to get a revelation today that the joy is not in the success, the joy is in trying. The joy is in the process.
In your life today, you don't see where you are going because God said, go. And you follow. Di mo nakikita. Saan kaya ito papunta? But God has provided for you already. He has prepared the way. He has prepared where you are going. Nakaayos na yan. Kaya, just obey.